this is Ms. Martin, and I'm just going to go over my poetry analysis one-pager with you so that if you're feeling a little bit lost, you don't quite know what to start or what to do next, you can see what I did, and maybe that will help you out a little bit. The poem that I picked is actually a song. It's called Ulysses by Garrels, and it's been one of my favorite songs for at least 5 years now. Ulysses is the Roman name of Odysseus. So this song is actually inspired by Homer's The Odyssey. So not Homer Simpson. Okay, this is Homer from Greece, ancient Greece. And the Odyssey tells the story of this guy named Odysseus who he fought in the Trojan War, and then he goes to sail home and he gets sidetracked, and it takes him 10 years to sail home. And that's what the Odyssey is. It's this huge adventure, and all this poor guy wants to do is get home to his wife, and it takes him 10 years. Ulysses is the Roman name, and that's where this myth comes. So sometimes I will say Odysseus, sometimes I will say Ulysses, sometimes I will say Rome, sometimes I will say Greece. It is the same story. Rome just liked to steal stuff from the ancient Greeks and put a new name on it and say, yeah, see, it was ours the whole time, which we know is called plagiarism. So my first step, what I did first was I took the lyrics and I wrote them out on a scrap piece of paper. You can see here, I clearly had used this already for something else. That's okay. This is just rough draft figuring stuff out. It doesn't need to look pretty because I didn't think anyone would be looking at it, but here I am filming a video having you look at it. We start off with, this is just what the lyrics are. So, holding on to the hope that someday this will be made right. I've been shipwrecked and left for dead, and I've seen the darkest sights. Everyone I've loved seems like a stranger in the night, but oh, my heart still burns, tells me to return and search the fading light. So that's the first stanza, or the first verse, and then we have the chorus. So I know that probably when I end up doing my one-pager, I'm going to make the chorus bigger than everything else because it repeats. That's part of the structure of a song, and so I just will want to make that stand out. So we've got, sailing home to you, I won't be long. By the light of moon, I will press on until I find my love. And that's the chorus. Then we have the second verse. Trouble has beset my ways and wicked winds have blown. Sirens call my name, they say they'll ease my pain, then break me on these stones. But true love is the burden that will carry me back home, carry me with the memories of the beauty I have known. And then in the song it repeats back, but I've already written it down. This is my rough draft. I don't really care. He goes, sailing home to you, I won't be long. By the light of moon, I will press on. And then we end with this bridge. So tie me to the mast of this old ship and point me home before I lose the one I love, before my chance is gone. I want to hold her in my arms. Then what I did was I went through and I underlined all of the things I noticed, because that's how my brain works. I'm an underliner, and then I can write things next to it. If you're a highlighter, great, go through and highlight the things that stick out. Just make sure you know why you are underlining or highlighting things. So first here, I underlined holding on to the hope, holding on to the hope. That's alliteration. Shipwrecked, left for dead. Those things stand out to me as very strong word choices. You could have said, I've been left behind, I've been abandoned, but he said, I've been shipwrecked and left for dead. Everyone I've loved seems like a stranger in the night. That's an image, right? That's a very strong image, so I just underlined it and wrote image. But oh, my heart still burns. Hearts don't actually burn, and if it is burning, you're dead because your heart's been set on fire, so that's going to be hyperbole. It's an exaggeration. Tells me to return. A heart can't tell you anything because it just pumps blood. So that's personification, right? We're giving it human characteristics. And search the fading light. Fading light, we have another image. Sailing home to you, I won't be long. By the light of moon, I will press on. Those are two very strong images until I find my love. Trouble has beset my ways and wicked winds have blown. Ways, wicked winds, that's alliteration again. Sirens call my name. Now, since I know the Odyssey, I know that Ulysses myth, I know that sirens calling out to Ulysses and those sailors that that's a big part of the story. Sirens are like scary mermaids, right? So they call out to sailors, tempt them with songs of whatever they wish, whatever they desire. It's supposed to be the most beautiful song ever. And the sailors will leap from their ships and die. And sirens think it's hilarious. So that's part of the story. So this is, I know, is an allusion specifically to that Ulysses myth. They say they'll ease my pain, then break me on these stones, right? So that's all part of that allusion. But true love is the burden that will carry me back home. Now, this word stuck out to me because a lot of times we describe love as something that sets us free, as something that's like exciting, and a burden is not something exciting. It's something that weighs you down. So that juxtaposition of like what you expect, or maybe irony, yeah, it's more like an ironic statement, but that word choice really stuck out to me. So that's why I drew a box around it. Carry me with the memories of the beauty I have known. So tie me to the mast of this old ship and point me home. That is a direct reference to what happens in the Odyssey. In the Odyssey, Odysseus wants to hear the sirens call, but he wants to make sure he makes it home. He has to make it home. So he has his crew tie him to the mast of the ship so that he will not jump out. Before I lose the one I love, before my chance is gone. And then it ends on this image, I want to hold her in my arms. So then what I did was I took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, just a regular sheet of printer paper. This is actually just the back of a overdue notice because we couldn't get our books in on time. Okay. And what I did was I drew margins along the side because for me, I wanted to write out the whole poem. You don't have to, but that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to write out the whole poem and then do my analysis on the side. And then at the bottom, I've got the title, the poet or the songwriter, and I've got my theme. You could put your title and your poet and your theme wherever you want. I just wanted it at the bottom so that it would kind of stand out. If you don't know what your theme is yet, that's okay. Maybe do some analysis first and you'll figure out what the theme is. For me, since I know what this poem is alluding to, this Ulysses myth, where the whole thing is that he wants to get back to his wife, and we start off with, I'm holding on to the hope that someday this will be made right. And then we end with, I want to hold her in my arms. I felt like, okay, well, this is all about this relationship. This relationship that has been broken because it needs to be made right. And the whole thing, he's very determined to make it happen. So my theme, my message is that rebuilding a broken relationship takes persistence. So then I went through and I looked at all of the things that I had underlined here or circled or that I thought were strong images, and I made those things stand out. So I did it all in pencil first so that I could erase anything I didn't like. And we start with, I'm holding on to the hope that someday this will be made right. I wanted to emphasize that alliteration, so I made it slightly bigger than everything else. Because I've been shipwrecked and left for dead, I wanted those to stand out, those word choices to stand out, so I made them bigger. And then I don't have anything here filling in that gap. That's on purpose. I want you to really see shipwrecked and left for dead. And I've seen the darkest sights. Everyone I've loved seemed like a stranger in a night, but oh, my heart still burns. Made that a little bit bigger because I knew I wanted to point out that hyperbole. Tells me to return. I wanted to point out that personification, and then search the fading light. That was a strong image to me that made me think of the sun setting on the ocean as you're on a ship. So I wrote it in the shape of a sunset. I'm sailing home to you, I won't be long. I knew I wanted to put that on a sailing ship because the Odyssey all takes place on a ship. So this is the first time we really see that strong imagery, or we hear the sailing part at least. And I wanted to emphasize it. By the light of moon, I put it in the shape of the moon because that's a strong image. I will press on until I find my love. Remember when I said I was going to want to make the chorus bigger than everything else? Dun, 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 bigger than everything else. Okay, trouble has beset my ways and wicked winds have blown. That wicked winds I felt like was the strongest part of the alliteration. I've got my little swirly thing that in my head looks like wind. Sirens call my name. They say they'll ease my pain, then break me on these stones. But true love is the burden. Remember that word stuck out to me, so I made it bigger. That will carry me back home, carry me with the memories of the beauty I have known. So tie me to the mast of this old ship and point me home. This part of the bridge really sticks out. It's my favorite part of the song. If you listen to it, the way he sings it, it really emphasizes it. So I wanted that whole section to be big. Before I lose the one I love, before my chance is gone, I want to hold her in my arms. That was another strong image, so I made it nice and big. Then when I went in with my colors, I did everything that I didn't want to super emphasize just in regular black pen, and then I color coded the way that I was emphasizing the other things. So these allusions are in this pink color. My word choice things are in blue. My imagery is in dark purple. And then the other figurative language is in this lighter purple. Then on the side, I say, hey, this here, color code, alliteration. Shipwrecked. Shipwrecked is the first of many references to sailing connecting the song to the Ulysses myth. This is why I'm pointing it out. To be left for dead suggests some sort of betrayal or breaking of a relationship. This is why I'm pointing it out, because it's connected to my theme. This is personification here. This image of sailing in the dark to achieve your goal supports the poet's message of persistence. This is how it is connected to my theme. This is alliteration, that's why I pointed it out. Allusion, the poet alludes to sirens of Greek myth who lured sailors to their death by distracting them with tempting songs. Burden is a surprising word to describe true love, which usually is described as setting you free. Allusion, this is a direct reference to the Ulysses myth and points to a moment of sheer determination to return home to this wife. Oh, persistence, determination. Oh, this is how it's connected. The song ends with the image of the relationship restored to what it was before Ulysses left for Troy, rebuilding that broken relationship. And then I went in and colored it to make it pretty and not just white. So that's how I did my one-pager. You can see just the PDF, just the picture of it attached on Google Classroom there. But yeah, let us know if you need any help. Thanks. Bye.